up? It's Hayley from elitelife.com.au here, and this is Hayley Carr TV, and this is another segment of Honest and Humpworthy. So today I have my beautiful friend Nicola Chatham. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Hi everyone.
Hi. Nicola and I met about a year ago now, and we have a really similar background. We actually met. We're internet friends. Internet friends are the coolest. And we have a really similar background. We both recovered from chronic fatigue. And what's really cool is that we've both gone down different avenues now, helping people in different ways. But you have a really cool business. And I wanted to introduce you to everyone because it's something that I didn't even know was possible, that you could teach that online, what you do. So why don't you just tell everybody what it is that you do, Nick?
Well, I teach people how to grow their own organic food, but I do it all, as you said, online using video-based training courses. So, and to be honest, I didn't really know that it was something that you could do either. It was just something that I've invented as I went along, and it's working out really nicely.
Yeah, it really, really is. How did you get started, Nick?
Okay, well, as you said, I'd had chronic fatigue and I had a lot of trouble with my digestive health, and had basically become incredibly sensitive to pesticides, and realised that in order for me to feel safe eating anything, I would need to know that it was organic, and to be able to afford that and kind of keep up that lifestyle, I figured it would be best if I knew how to grow it myself. So I set up a garden in the country and converted my backyard into an organic veggie patch, and I was amazed at how relatively simple it was to do and how much food it could produce in a small space and without a lot of effort. Once I'd studied some permaculture principles, which I then applied into the design and then the formulation of the soil that the plants grow in. And I had some changes in my personal life, and I needed to be earning some more income to cover my mortgage. And so I was looking for ways to bring in some more money, and at first I thought that perhaps I would teach painting because I've been an artist for 10 years and that was kind of the logical thing. But I wasn't very passionate about teaching painting at the time, and what I was really passionate about was telling other women in particular how incredibly satisfying it was and relatively easy it is to grow their own organic food.
That is so cool. So you basically just created it because you wanted to and it's what you liked.
Yeah. And it was really something that I wished that I had access to when I was very sick. I was like Googling, trying to find out how to grow organics, and it was really hard. And so instead I invested lots of money in going and travelling to courses and things, and I thought if I could put it into a really simple system that people could learn from anywhere around the world and in their own time and stuff, would be really nice. Yeah.
So you're a permaculturist. Permaculturalist. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, permaculturist.
Permaculturist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you want to tell everybody what that is and how you do that?
Yeah, for sure. So, permaculture was a system that was developed by Bill Mollison and David Holmgren back in, I think it was the 70s. And it brings together house design with, yeah, you'd like that, yes, house design, like passive heating and clever ways to make sure that you're using nature's resources in the most sustainable way possible, basically. And it's using design in the garden and in the house, and even it can extend into communities to create a sustainable living sort of structure. So there's different levels that you can go within it, you know, how much you implement at your place, but I've used the principles of design in my garden, and it's really paid off. It saved me a lot of time and money.
That's so cool. So, if I wanted to become a permaculturist, how would I do that?
Well, there's a couple of ways you can do it. I went and studied my permaculture design certificate down in Melbourne. Yeah.
Okay.
And I studied it with Bill Mollison himself. He's like in his 80s now, and he's got so many great stories that he shares.
Yeah.
He's lived with tribes all around the world and gleaned like all this ancient wisdom and packaged it together in this system. It's amazing.
Wow.
Or you could just get involved in like a local permaculture group. There's lots of them all around the world. They have meetings usually once a month, and they might have open gardens and things like that. So you could like turn up and go and get ideas, that you can use at your place.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I didn't even know that was possible. That's so cool. So what do you think is the most important reason why people should grow their own organic food in their gardens?
Well, should's a funny word. I think they should because they want to. That's the only reason.
It's a great answer.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but the benefits of it are like, there's heaps of them. So there's convenience, because having really healthy, beautiful food right outside your door makes it much easier to choose healthy options than like reaching into the freezer and heating up a box. When it's right there, you can just chop it up and it's ready. Also, of course, it's fantastic for the environment. So, as we were saying yesterday, like food miles are reduced to footsteps, and
That's so good.
yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
No diesel and you know, all that being burnt and used to grow it and bring it to your plate. And then for me, what I get the most value and joy out of is actually like the soul satisfaction. And a lot of my students say the same thing, like the satisfaction of being able to say, I grew that. And then just hanging out in the garden and watching the butterflies and watching the bees and the flowers. Everything's always changing in a garden. It's great. So yeah, connection with nature is for me the most valuable thing.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, that's just so nice. I love that you said there is no should. You know, something that Nicola and I were talking about the other night. She's actually staying at my house for a few days. She's on a road trip down to Melbourne, which has been so fun. Something that Nicola said to me the other night was that she's an activist, but not what did you call yourself?
I said I'm an inspirationist or something.
Inspirationist. Yeah, it was like an activist without putting across all the fear of needing to do things. And so I'm really glad that you said there is no should, and that's the thing that I love about what Nicola does. It's not you have to do it this way. It's just it's about enjoying nature and being out in the environment, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
well,
just so
I think that's,
inspiring.
you know, then it's a sustainable change, because in the long run, we end up doing what we want to do, you know. So if you can create the tension or the structures that pull you towards your dreams, and that might be creating an environment that's beautiful, then it's going to be much easier to respect the environment and take care of it.
Yeah. When I first learnt what you were doing, I was so intimidated by the idea of gardening. It just felt really, really hard. I thought it was going to be really laborious. But you also teach people how to grow organic food in pots.
Yes.
And that is so cool. So tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, I've made that course, Grow Organic Food in Pots, for people just like you.
Yeah.
You know, it does feel a bit intimidating to have a whole veggie patch, and you might want to just get a little start and taste of what you can do even in a small space. And
Yeah, I only had a balcony.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so many people these days live in an apartment. So learning that you can grow like your own herbs, your own leafy greens, just in even like half a metre square, you can grow a huge amount of food. Or people who are renting and they can't go out and make structural changes in the garden, they can grow things in pots. So yeah, it's a nice, convenient and flexible course that way.
It's the best. It's so good. So what do you think is the biggest myth about growing your own organic food?
Well, you know what I think it is the idea that growing organic food is harder than growing food. Like, I've always grown things organically because I've always grown my food organically because that was the whole purpose for me of growing food. But it's just the same in a way. The idea is to understand the principles that your plant just is like us. It has an immune system, and once it has all the nutrients that it needs, it can have a natural defense system to ward off pests and diseases. So as long as you're putting nutrients into the soil, you're going to have healthy plants, combined with a few other factors as well, like if they're in season and whatnot. But I think that's the biggest myth. Yeah. And that it takes a lot of time. People are always saying, oh, I'd love to garden, but I don't have time. You know, I spend about one afternoon every 2 months in my veggie patch doing maintenance.
I thought you were going to say
A week or something?
Or an hour a day or something.
No.
Wow, that's even less than I thought.
Yeah, no, I don't do hardly any work in the garden.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, but I rely on what are called a lot of perennial plants. So a lot of plants that grow year after year, they keep growing. So I don't have to be out there planting fresh lettuce every week. Instead, I just eat sorrel, which grows.
Right.
I've had it planted for 3 years now. or I'll let things go to seed, like my rocket goes to seed and then all the seeds fly everywhere and you get new little rocket plants, and I didn't have to do anything. So
I like that.
yeah, that's permaculture.
Yeah. That's so awesome. Something that you do talk about quite often is herbs for healing.
Yes.
What are your favourites at the moment?
My favourite herbs at the moment are Mother of Herb, which
The mother of
the
herbs.
mother of all herbs. It goes by lots of different names. Five spice, allspice,
Oh.
and it tastes a bit like those. That's why it's called Mother of Herbs, because it's got a really complex flavour.
That's funny. This is how naive I am. I thought 5 Spice had 5 spices in it.
Oh well, I think it does.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's just like the common name that they might use for the plant. Yeah. I should just be telling you the Latin name, but I don't know it. I love that. I love making it into a tea and putting a bit of honey with it. And to make a tea, I basically just pick the fresh leaves, put it in a cup, put on some boiling water, and voila, that's the tea. And I just drink it around the tea leaves. Like it's really
Best, the freshest tea
toast.
on earth.
Yeah, and it's so tasty, and
Yeah.
it is said to help you sleep, Mother of Herb.
Yeah.
And I find that it helps soothe an upset stomach.
Oh, nice.
So
That's really cool.
that's one of my favourites. And the other all-time favourite is Gotukola, because it's really powerful anti-inflammatory herb. So people who are suffering back pain or inflammation in their body can eat like 3 to 5 leaves of Gotukola a day, and they experience massive difference in pain relief. So
Wow.
yeah, Gotukola is awesome.
Okay, so Nicola is like a world of knowledge on all this stuff, and we're like scratching the surface of what she knows. There's heaps of information on your blog, isn't there?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
much information, and so much information in her course as well, and she teaches you how to actually find out the information yourself and where to go, and I think that was so good for me, because I found it, I was like, I don't even know where to start. So that was awesome.
It's about empowering
Yeah,
people.
really empowering. So if you're interested in growing your own organic veggie garden or growing some organic food in pots, I'm going to post Nicola's website down below this video so you can check it out for yourself. Now, I like to leave everybody with a little takeaway that they can kind of think about and reply back to me in the comments with. So what would be something that you would love everyone to do from this?
Well, I think, when you have a garden, there's sometimes a preconceived notion of why you should have a garden. But the thing is we're all different. We all have different lifestyles. We have different family structures. Some of us have kids, some of us don't. And so have a think about what you want your garden to do for you, and whether or not you want it to be a place for relaxing after work, that you can come home and it's like a little sanctuary where you can maybe have a G&T or a glass of wine or a cup of herbal tea and just unwind a bit. Or think about if you want it to be a place of education for your kids. You want them to be out there and seeing where their food comes from, and you want them to be interacting with the reproductive cycles of nature, the birds and the bees, so to speak. Or if you want it to be a place for healing and health, and think about how you could incorporate that by choosing plants that support your health into your garden. So I'd think about what you want your garden to do for you, rather than thinking how you're going to have to add work to the garden or the garden's going to make you work more in your life. Think about how a garden can support your lifestyle.
That's awesome. Thank you. So have a think about, if you were to grow your own organic food, what would you want your garden to do for you? And leave a comment for us below this video telling us what that would be. What would you like a garden to actually do for you? It's a cool little exercise, actually. Most people don't really think about that. So thank you so much for being here and spending time with me and being on Hayley Cast TV. You're so awesome!
Yes, my pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you. So if you like this video, please share the love with your friends, baby. Share it on Facebook. Come to my YouTube channel and subscribe. And if you know somebody who would really benefit from this video or from getting to know Nicola, then send them an email with a link to this video. And if you never want to miss an episode again and you want free email coaching from me every week straight to your inbox, come to hayleycarr.tv and sign up for my free weekly coaching. Have a great hump day. See you later. Bye.
Ciao.